Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of Sunday, August 5th through Saturday, August 11th. Very quickly, on August 6th, Monday, August 6th at 7:27 p.m., Venus enters Libra. It is one of the most loving placements that exists. Venus, the planet of love, in Libra, which she rules, which is all about justice and love, fairness, equality, equity, balance, unconditional love, give and take. She's going to be there. On the 7th, Uranus goes retrograde at 12:50 p.m. in Taurus. Later in the year, that retrograde will move to Aries, but right now in Taurus. And Uranus being like the planet of freedom and Taurus being an earth sign, all about being grounded and stuff like that. There is going to be a lot of this push to break free of things that we don't want, and even things that we've been trying to fight. Like we've been going against our own soul or against our own heart and trying to fight different things and remain in situations, with which we didn't even resonate. This retrograde is a long one. I pray if there's anything like that in my life that I should have left alone by now, that I have not, that sooner rather than later I do. I am made to, because hell, if I want to be going through this through January, and that's how long this retrograde is. It begins on the 7th of August and doesn't end to the 7th of January, 2019. So if you need to break free from something, you better pray you break free now if you're anything like me, or you know what I know. August 11th, been waiting for this at 5:58 a.m. The new moon, which is a super moon, actually, a rare super moon and solar eclipse in Leo. The sun, which rules the sign of Leo, will be eclipsed, and there will be a new moon also in Leo. And that's the last day for which this reading is. Simultaneous to Venus entering Libra on the 6th is also the feast day of the Transfiguration on the Christian calendar, which is the event said to have taken place where Jesus was joined on the mountain with Elijah and Moses in conversation. So two ascended masters said to have descended upon the mountain to join Jesus in a little chat. So that's that energy. Okay, so going to the dice, I'm beginning with no. Romantic dinner. And buy shoes. And buy shoes reminds me that I also talked a lot in the general reading about free will and, well, in part because of that Uranus retrograde and the need to break free and do what we got to do. And the fact that we, the realization we need to come to that we do have free will, at least to an extent. And I say to an extent because, yes, there are other factors beyond our control that are karmic and of the universe and destined and all those kind of things that are going to go on, regardless of what we do. It's how we react to stuff, and whether or not we react to stuff, right? Because not reacting is also a reaction. So it reminded me also that I had gotten into a conversation about walk-ins with a young lady, a client of mine. She asked me my feelings on walk-ins. And I told her that I had been feeling a number of people would be joined instead, by whom they thought, by what they might consider a walk-in during this period. Because, again, it's about breaking free of things that you feel you have to do, and instead doing what you will and what, your soul is moving you to do. And I said, similar to like suicide. People have a life and a path that is sort of written before we get here, at least in my, feeling. But we do have the opportunity to decide to cut it short, should we wish. And some of us do. So the walk-in, in the cases where we decide not to go any further on a divine union journey, or quote unquote twin flame journey, the walk-in comes in to replace that party who has decided not to go any further. I also compare it to St. Andrew. It's about living and or dying, doing whatever on your own terms. There's a card in the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels called Release Your Ex. And people who read cards, or who literally read cards and, tell you what the book says, and don't really have much intuition to speak of, or, are trained rather than natural born psychics, such as myself, they'll tell you it means release your ex. There's somebody in your life that you need to let go of. Yeah, sometimes it does mean that, but not always. And I've explained many times that sometimes release your ex, I use St. Andrew to describe it. St. Andrew was a martyr. He was put to death after the crucifixion, after Jesus had already gone by the time St. Andrew was put to death as well. And he too was going to be crucified. And he said, no, like, I don't deserve to die like Jesus. Put me on an X. So even his death, he was determining how he was going to die. He was using his free will. He didn't have a choice necessarily not to die. He was being put to death, persecuted and put to death, but he had a choice of how he would. Right? That was he exercised his free will there to say, don't put me on a cross, put me on an X. So release your X comes through like that for me often too. It's like living on your own terms, whatever that means. So I feel a lot of that, and buy shoes fits into that, because it's going to be walking away from some people who believe themselves in a divine union. And I'm not saying that you're not a divine being, but the union that you feel is not the one. And it's just because we just have such a desire for that person to be the one sometimes, that we sort of create a whole scenario. This Uranus retrograde is going to wipe away these fake scenarios. It's just not going to allow us to continue to do it beyond January 2019. In other cases, people are with, partners with whom they're not meant anyway. And similarly, they will need walking shoes. They will need to move on from these situations. So that's what this is going to mean. And I just wanted to put that out there before I did the reading, because I have a feeling we're going to see cards to that effect too. In the general reading was full of love, actually. It was pretty romantic, and I didn't see anything sad. But I definitely do feel, I guess, what we'd have to call breakups, endings to situations that weren't meant to be, and people getting like on the right course. Spirit says, stay in bed. Eat cake, maybe celebrate. Also, happy birthday to the August Leos. It's the first week for that. And it's 50-50. I read something in the general reading talking about Venus in Libra. and again, how intense the love is going to be. And in the article, it said it's not 50-50, it's 100-100, at least during this Venus and Libra period. So like I said, this week was really, really lovely in the general reading, and I started out with the Lovers, and I think not coincidentally, especially since I don't believe in coincidence anyway, I'm starting out with the Lovers tonight too, from the Journey of Love Oracle. And the Lovers in this deck is about, similar to what I was just talking about. It's about love, but it's also about living life on your own terms, and like being in love even with life. Like if you're single, you can still express and feel this love and expect love to be coming for you. Love is going to be everywhere in everything that you do, or it should be. It should be. That's what this card is about. It can be about partners too, of course, very straightforward and to the point. But today our card is going to be Dream a Little. Interesting. Dream a little. I open right to it. Card number 51, Dream a Little. The divine wants to bless you with inspiration, just as a lover would, and come to the door of the beloved with a spontaneous gift of flowers. So dream a little. Let your imagination wander and wonder. What if? What else could be? Breaking down the rigid walls of expectation. Just because something has been does not indicate that it must continue in the same way. Exactly. This goes to what I was talking about too. So dream a little and receive your spiritual gift. This oracle brings you guidance. A spiritual gift of inspiration is on its way or has just recently been received. It isn't flight of fancy. It's a gift from the divine. Receive it and believe in new possibilities. From unexpected meetings, we talked and shared our lifetime. A gentle, peaceful, quiet time reflected in our smile. We winged our way to distant places and walked along remembered faces of lives we knew we lived sometime before. And like a bud about to flower, having reached its appointed hour, we watch ourselves begin to open in the warm touch of spring. From the Tony Carmine Solano Universal Love Oracle, I'm beginning with the Goddess, which is about the moon. And again, we have that new moon this week. This represents feminine energy. That's what the moon represents in general, feminine energy. And then to take it a step further, specifically like feminine energy of surrender. So the letting go and opening to reflection. Maybe looking back on your life, looking around at your present, looking towards your future. Dream a little. What kind of goals and dreams do you have? What have you really wanted to do that you have not done? Because the universe is going to start to push you to do those things. And also it came up in the general reading that during the Uranus retrograde, if you have any of these large revelations, then during the retrograde is a good time to plan it. But some of these things you're not going to want to actually do until Uranus goes direct in January. The Goddess and Eternal Flame. So this continued fiery love energy. And this depicts a moon in Leo here, right? Because here's the moon and here is this fire energy. So this is representative of the Leo new moon that is coming. Goddess, expectancy. Let go of your expectations. Stop trying to dictate to the universe what will be and will not be, and how they are to bless you, and in what way and at what time, as if divine timing and things of this sort don't exist, because all you're doing is blocking your own blessings when you do that. And lastly, opening to Trilogy of Light, which which is very much like a Trinity. It's ourselves, our partner, the divine, or it can also be ourselves, the like mind, body, spirit. There's a few different ways to come to a trilogy or a trinity of light. And here's sorrow. So like I said, I didn't see it come up in the general. I don't remember anything being sad in the general. Maybe I did. But overall, the general was pretty romantic. It's pretty evidently about partnership. But I do feel people walking away from others this week. So that could be what the sorrow is about. I also feel people walking toward others, where there was previous hurt, reflecting on that and deciding to make some apologies and to heal those relationships. Whatever happens from there, at least healing it. That doesn't mean you're going to have to, get back together with somebody that you had previously broken up with. They hurt you. There's just like this need for closure. Like on both ends, there's a need to forgive for the hurt and to apologize for the hurt, and then decide from there what else to do, if anything. Like the card Judgment, the Arcana card Judgment. It's having come to a crossroad and deciding where do we go from here, if anywhere. That's what I'm getting with this. Overall energy is golden memories, which goes along very well with reflection, because it is about looking back and looking around and looking forward and deciding what are we going to drop from our lives like a hot bag of shit, and what are we going to take with us. We need to lighten the load. We're carrying things that can't go with us through the gateway. Speaking of the gateway, this week is also the Lionsgate. It started again on July 26th. It started when Sirius rose, but that really intense period will fall into this week, where we'll be feeling ourselves moved, basically shifted to our next phase. What are you going to take with you? You need to lighten the load. You need to, again, let go of the inability to forgive and regret and resentment, negative emotions, similar to those attached to hurt and fear and pride. Transmute all that stuff to love, and that's going to help you to move forward. Divine Feminine, the masculine about the feminine this week, about himself and the union as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine to do toward the union this week, what he himself is willing to, what the universe would have the two to do. And will help us with, and the outcome. Divine Feminine, retreat. This could be the Uranus and Taurus, right? Uranus rules the sign of Aquarius. We have this star sitting here above this angel's head while she's sitting in sort of like a grassy knoll. This is representative of the earth energy. Here's all this air energy surrounding her. And then more specifically to the air, Aquarius. Uranus in Taurus. Retreat. Spend some time in meditation or getting together with Mother Nature. Take a little trip or break. Whatever you need to do to sort of find your inner peace and zen and spend time in love, again, with the world, with life, with yourself. Masculine about the feminine. Boom. I love when it's right out the gate like that. Sacred union. But again, this week in particular, this really intense love with Venus, the planet of love, in Libra, which she rules, which they say it's the most loving placement that she could be in. Check out the general. The masculine about himself this week. Earth connection. So he too, needing to spend some time with Mother Nature to open up that flow of abundance. Get grounded. Find himself. His peace, his zen. Masculine's feelings about the union as a whole this week. Guardian. It's protected while the two of us go and, whether separately or together, seek this healing. Right? We might do some on our own. We might do some together. Whatever we're doing, we're protected by this fire energy here too. It's more of this fire. Be Leo, Mars, Jupiter. Overall, healing sounds. With this more moon, the need to work on self. Here comes some water energy too. Again, this could be attached to Jupiter, located in Scorpio. The need to focus somewhat on the sacral chakra as part of the healing. And maybe to listen to what are your favorite genre of music, or some binaural tones, or guided meditation, motivational speaker, raindrops, whatever helps you to find, again, this place of peace and zen and chi, balance. What would the masculine have the feminine do toward the union this week? If it was up to him. Boom. Love. Also attached to this energy of fire. So this Leo coming through very, very strongly. I explained why this energy is so intense. If you look at what was going to be the love reading last week, what I had started out to do as the love reading, but I went into, again, breaking down a whole bunch of stuff that we just need to know. Sort of crucial if you want to be able to at all understand the journey that we're on. And particularly now, the Leo energy, the lionsgate, all that stuff. I called it important messages. They remain important. Not too late to check that out. What would the masculine have the feminine? What is the masculine himself willing to do toward the union this week? Enchantment. So this is the continued healing, and again, his focus is on becoming grounded and clearing blocks to his abundance. That's going to in part include letting go of expectations and the pride and ego that causes us to make such demands on the universe. So he's going to come down to earth, right? Like right now he's up here, he got ahead of himself. He's going to come down to earth and get grounded in that Taurus energy, also ruled by Venus. And, come to the acceptance, humble himself, the acceptance that there's a higher, an energy higher than his own that is sort of in charge. And that's the healing. And here it is. Here's Venus. Here's Mars going through this divine feminine to the masculine, taking on this energy perhaps, which is, again, feminine energy is the energy of surrender. So letting go and letting God, as they say. Even this woman who's all scarred, she's got scars on her face, on her neck, that did not stop her from completely letting go, going into a place of full vulnerability. She is naked, right? She's nude. Here's her breasts. They're exposed. Her head is tilted back. Her eyes are closed. She couldn't be more vulnerable. and fearless, right? Courageous, brave, like the energy of Leo, that strength that comes from within, that you can just face anything regardless of through what you've been prior. So this is what the masculine willing to do this week. And what would the universe, have us do? Let's say, were we not at liberty to exercise that free will I've been talking about, and the universe could just see to it that we did something, that we didn't sit it out, that we danced. What would it have us do and help us to do this week? Miracles. So the belief in miracles, this is about faith, but also it's saying that the universe is going to make some things happen for those of us who are in that place of faith and on track. Center, humbled, and the outcome. Boom. Message from afar. So again, this abundance of fire energy. Again, it can be Jupiter, it can be Mars, it could be Leo. Messages coming in, actual communication between the partners, and also like about not only your union, but yourself as an individual on the path. Messages coming from the divine to you too. And then again, in some cases, really, really literal. And the messages coming like long distance phone calls or text, letters, FaceTime, all those things. From the hashtag creepy deck. Beginning with mature woman, they just showed me something here. Didn't know that was behind it. Just shown that. Twin flame. This mature woman is representative of the energy of Aquarius for me right now. Even though this is like fire. So I guess it's like a Mars and Aquarius that I'm picking up. Aquarius as the fixed sign of the element of air would be the more mature, at least, especially as it relates to Gemini. We're definitely the immature sign of the air element. So I'm just getting this really independent and humanitarian, and so like on a global scale, thinking about the world and going bigger and freedom and justice is what I'm getting from this woman here. Opening to karma. Mature woman and communication, which I also just felt, and is connected to the energy of Aquarius as an air sign, or connected to the energy of air signs in general. Communication. Mature woman and blonde female, which is the representation of the divine feminine for me in this deck. She's not a blonde female. She's a redhead as far as I'm concerned. Mature woman and dating queen, which is more of this fire energy, sort of like a 3 of fire kind of card. 3 suitors here depicted on the card after this one divine feminine. She's hot. Could involve some sort of party of 3, maybe a love triangle, maybe attached to karma, a karmic partner that is presenting an obstacle, somebody or something from which we need to walk away this week, as I've been feeling, right? This dating queen situation, or these 3 suitors, are an obstacle. Dating queen. And young female, another redhead. This is more fire. This young female tends to represent the energy of Sagittarius and its ruler, Jupiter, for me, which are very much attached to karma, too. They call Jupiter the planet of luck. I call it the planet of karma because I don't believe in luck. Overall energy is new love. New beginnings are what comes with a new moon and a solar eclipse. Both of those carry the energy of new beginnings, new love. Divine couple, recent past, masculine's higher self, near future, blocks to the union, what the feminine can do, the masculine can do, further advice from the universe and with what it would like to help us, and the outcome. Divine couple, courting man. I like this. So, like one party, at least one party, seeking the other. Doesn't necessarily have to be the divine feminine. It can go either way. Seeking the other, reaching out, again, in an attempt to make apologies or to reconnect or to step deeper into love, whatever applies, to that couple, or to meet, to connect for the first time, right? Some of us are single. I feel that coming on as well. The recent past. Boom. Very true. This is indeed the recent past. We had all this activity in the suit of air. Again, Mars in Aquarius. But also we have Mercury retrograde in Leo. That was recently. We have the sun having entered Leo recently. And we've been sort of under this energy of the Emperor too, as well as the month of Father. This energy of the Emperor. And we have, speaking of the Emperor, Chiron currently also retrograde in Aries, fire sign Aries. The near future. So moving out of this toward work. And this is so true. Oh, goodness. There's another planet going retrograde in Capricorn in the near future. It's Mars. Oh, goodness. Yes, it's Mars. Mars is going to remain in retrograde, but it's leaving for the time being Aquarius and it's going into Capricorn. That's what this is. It will be joining Pluto and Saturn, which are also currently retrograde in Capricorn. The masculine's higher self. Short-term heartache, pain, difficulty, conflict, drama, perhaps. But I think and this is, for some, again, walking away from partnerships or situations, circumstances that don't align with him. And for others, this is going through a period of trying to figure out, how do I make amends for hurt that already occurred? All as I said in the beginning of the reading, before I laid any cards, blocks to the union, friendship, or maybe lack thereof. Like in some of these relationships, we have to heal the friendship aspect of it. Like you just haven't even been kind, or I haven't been kind. I had that song stuck in my head earlier. You look so nice, but you're not nice. You're rude. Like, look what you're putting me through. I have to watch you, I guess basically go out there and be yourself or act up. Maybe he's watching from social media and he sees the woman posting all kinds of stuff, and he's like, that's hurtful. You look nice, you look sweet, but you're not a nice person. You're rude. You're hurtful. Like you're not even being friendly. In some cases, we have to heal the friendship. And that's the block. What can the feminine do toward this situation? Again, this spread is from the perspective of the universe, whereas the one prior was this perspective of the masculine. So that's why this sort of thing comes up in the reading too. What can the feminine do here? Okay, lighthearted energy. Again, make your light in your bags. We can't take the heavy stuff with us toward the gateway through the portal. We really just lighthearted, mutable sign energy, like a Sagittarius. Fiery, passionate, youthful energy. That's going to allow us or help us to be able to connect with each other. Right? When somebody's got a bunch of heavy stuff they want to talk, you just don't want to deal. You just want to hit decline on your phone when you know they're going to start right off the bat with some big load they're going to dump on you. So yeah, avoid that. What can the masculine do? True gem. This is really about being honest, keeping it 100, and being also similar to this young female and mirroring the feminine's card. While she's being Sagittarius-like, this is being Gemini-like. Another mutable sign. And, some truth, coming out with some truth, some honesty, apologies, and just being like, keeping it 100. Keeping it 100. This is also about knowing your worth. And I talked about that for the masculine specifically too, in the general, that I was getting this feeling of him just feeling sort of like small. And I had cards to support it afterwards too. And like diminutive and not realizing just the magnitude that is him, right? Of his greatness, of his worth, not realize his worth, his value, not only to the feminine, but to the world. Again, thinking about this global, this larger scale that comes with the energy of Uranus and Aquarius. What would the universe have us do this weekend is willing to help us? Passion. It's willing to help us to connect and get our acts together and to pursue our passions this week. If we, agree to not to sit it out, to get up and dance, it will help us. And the outcome, travel, moving forward, smooth sailing ahead, clear skies ahead. This card can also be about actual travel. Remember, message from afar. Somebody could be coming to visit, or we could be going to visit them. Maybe even crossing water. Here's more of this moon or the sun going down. Could really be either here. It's like the energy of the Chariot. So it's like victory too. It's very positive. There's nothing negative about this card and what I'm feeling here. Speaking of true gem, going to the Angel Tarot, beginning with the Page of Air, who's logical, honest, impulsive, and curious, very possibly a Gemini. It could be any air sign or any sign, period. But if it's a direct air sign, because court cards are actually often represent real people in your life, a Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. Opening to the Knight of Water is emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals. The need to balance emotions and an invitation to a social event. The Knight of Water is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone like it to those traits and attributes. And there may be something going on with a water sign and an air sign. Or this can be one person's energy. Knight of Water. And in comes another character. It's the King of Earth, who's generous, professional, responsible, and practical. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. This is about abundance. And in this case, as it relates to love and your romantic life and your emotions. And this can be reflective of, again, Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, too. King of Earth, or fire signs and water signs, not fire signs, well now fire signs and earth signs, but I meant to say earth signs and water signs before. The King of Fire is motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. A lot of characters turning up this week. Focus, 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 communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. The King of Fire is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, maybe even a Scorpio. Could be someone older as the king. And the King of Fire is also the representation of the divine masculine in the tarot. There may be something going on between a fire sign and an earth sign as well. King of Earth, one more. The Nine of Air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. This is worry, anxiety, really unnecessarily in our minds is where it tends to be. Could be brought on by Mercury retrograde or something. We really want to try to let it go. And in some cases, some of us need to just like take a nap and like get some rest. We're not getting enough sleep. Come to the Knight of Earth, who, like the king, is a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. Loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. It's time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. Have we seen only court cards with the exception of the Nine of Air? I think so. Overall energy is the Seven of Earth. Seeds well planted. A temporary pause in action. Unnecessary worry. The Seven of Earth is about just that, right? So we're worrying, we're anxious. That's where the Nine of Air came in. This says, what are you doing that about? When you plant seeds, they grow, right? You plant seeds, you nurture them, you water them, the sun's out, they grow. There's nothing to worry about. That's how it works, right? The ground and the seedling doesn't need you. It will naturally occur without you. Whether you're at peace or you're worrying, it's still going to grow. So you just chill out. But also connected to our energy, again, to get out there and spend some time with Mother Nature. Getting balanced and letting go of that anxiety. Finding our peace, our zen, our chi. Crowning the masculine this week. The Nine of Earth. I told you a lot of them are going to be single. I mean, the Nine of Earth can turn up when it has to do with relationships too, connected to value, worth, deservingness. So for some, that's how it applies as well. Enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. In either case, this can definitely be about spending some time with yourself, again, masculine, maybe a little retreat, spending some time with nature instead, getting grounded, learning to like you, love you, see what the feminine sees when she looks at you, all right? When she feel what she feels, when she touches you, you should love yourself at least as much. And that's going to help you in your relationships with other people as well. Masculine surrounded by the Eight of Water. I told you he wants out. A desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. This is about walking away from something, goodbye the shoes, walking shoes, or walking towards something or someone in some cases too. Or both. Masculine subconscious, the King of Water, who's trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. Charity work. Charity work is love, at least as far as I'm concerned. It is unconditional love. The ability to both give and receive without agenda. I'm giving to you because I want to give to you. I don't want anything from you in return. I'm accepting from you because I feel you are genuinely giving to me and you don't want anything from me in return. And I don't want anything, I don't feel then compelled to give you something because you gave me or because I'm accepting. It is, in both cases, it is simply because love. That's what the King of Water represents. He is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or someone likened to these traits or attributes, and could be connected to the Eight of Water, underneath which it sits, which again is the masculine's desire to walk away or toward someone or something that's not allowing him to be himself or to be with himself. He needs to break free of whatever it is. His soul is trying to get him to, whether his mind wants him to or not. Crowning the feminine. The Ace of Fire, beautiful, an exciting new opportunity. Career advancement, change your life now. It doesn't have to only be career advancement. It's just a new path, a divine path that's surrounded by fire. And, what is the fire about? It's your passions. Whatever this is or whoever this is, it is something or someone about which you are extremely passionate. And here's the moon again. This is brought on by the energy of the Leo, right? Fire sign Leo moon. Feminine surrounded by, beautiful, I love it. The Queen of Fire, who's confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful, and also a Leo or Sagittarius or Aries. But as the fixed sign, Leo in the tarot would be the Queen. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. The Queen of Fire is the divine feminine representation in the tarot. And she's all about pursuing her passions. She is brave. She's courageous. She has that Leo's fire in spirit. And this can actually be a direct fire sign that it will be impactful upon you this week. In the feminine subconscious, the World, which also represents the energy of fire for me. I haven't attributed it to one particular sign, but it is fire element. A job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. Major Arcana called the World, number 21, which can be about some kind of party at 3. It's about the universe bringing you out of, slowly easing you out of a situation, circumstance, relationship, so that you can be introduced to something more appropriate that better aligns with you. So coming out of this old energy and going into something new, a new opportunity being laid at our feet by the divine. Should you be so willing as to take it, to go after it, to get up, to dance, to engage in your own life. Be a willful participant. Crowning. The Six of Earth, gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, or paying off debts. Can have to do with that, and sometimes money is a factor in love relationships. We want to be able to do certain things with our partner, provide certain things for our partner, for ourselves, together with them. But this card is also about unconditional love for me, similar to the King of Water, and it's about first of all, it represents the planet Venus for me in this deck, although it's not a court card, because I see all of her elements, all the signs that she rules here. Here is very obviously the scales of justice, right? The scales of balance, Libra, where she will be this week. Again, Venus enters Libra on the 6th. All right, how awesome is that? But I also see her Taurus here. And in the background, while there's all this scattered air, it just looks sort of violent and crazy. That's Gemini as far as I'm concerned. And it's just all about the ability to both give and receive, again, without agenda. Unconditional love, even toward ourselves, or maybe especially toward ourselves. Learning to do that. At the root, the Three of Air. Here's the sorrow, here's the breakups, here's the sadness, here's the loss. Great sadness. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. Told ya. Boom. There's going to be some apologies this week. And we have a 3 sitting next to a 3. So for some, and maybe for the feminine, in some cases, the feminine, this is a long time coming. She's waiting for this apology for a long time. She needs this closure or the beginning of the next phase. You know, whether he's going to come along or the person she's going to come along, whoever's apologizing, or needs to be forgiven or is forgiving her, whether they're going to move forward together or not, we need to close this chapter. Again, may have something to do with a party of 3 as well. At the heart of the matter, boom, it is the Lovers, with which I began the general reading. And as I sat these cards down, I was thinking, you know what, this is positive. It's positive. It's being eased out of also this painful situation, being eased out of this this old stagnant phase of just leftover resentment and stuff. And the 3 plus the 3 equals 6 equals love. And then boom, right here at the heart of the matter. Major Arcana card, the Lovers, intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. Major Arcana card, the Lovers, that sits here underneath this other 6, the 6 of Earth, which I said represents Venus for me, represents the sign of Gemini, which Venus rules. And can be about a decision, again, whether or not to walk away maybe, or to walk toward, depending upon one's perspective and situation. Or it can just be about love. It can be about love coming your way this week. Boom. Further to that, from the Keepers of the Light Oracle, I'm beginning with Radha and Soul Flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relation, harmony, and healing. A lost part of yourself. Rediscover it. Experience that relation, harmony, and healing. Opening 2, Mary Magdalene, teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. So this is that inner call where you gotta live on your terms and do what your soul is telling you to do. That it's gonna come with the Uranus retrograde. Radha, Soul Flame. Want us to see Gaia, Earth connection, right? How many of us need to do this? We've seen this come up several times in this reading already. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth. Didn't I say the masculine was going to be brought down to Earth and he was going to get grounded? Well, this applies to both of us. The need to do this. Also, the divine director, intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. This sounds like our opening message. Know that you're being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Radha, Soul Flame. And Hilarion, divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and to heal. Your light can support others. Boom. Right? I said we need to retreat. We need to spend some time with Mother Nature for the purpose of healing. There you go. Radha, Soul Flame. And Lady Venus shows up to the party herself. Downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. And, you know, not to pat myself on the shoulder or anything like that. But I definitely think that, again, that important message video, if you have not seen it, that is deep insight from heaven. I was just moved. Again, I was moved to do something. That's not what I sat down to do. I sat down to do the love reading, and I was moved to just give this entire completely different lesson, so to speak, on the celestial system and the lionsgate and how it connects to the scriptures and all this kind of stuff, the prophecies. So I think there's more of that to come. And where I said more of that to come, I didn't mean just through me, through all of us. Downloads, understanding, clarity from heaven. And in some cases, it'll come through another person, That's how you'll receive the answers to your prayers and your questions. Our overall energy is the Holy Spirit expecting miracles. Isn't that what the universe said it had for us this week? Miracles. So this is the confirmation of that. Again, expect them. Have faith. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Atop the 9 of Earth, the Miriam, sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. So we may need to go within, and we may need to focus that forgiving also on ourselves. Right? Usually you have to begin with yourself. So the Miriam come to reinforce that message of forgiveness that has come up this week. Atop the 8 of water, holy amethyst, divine alchemy. Move beyond current challenges. Focus on what you desire. A desire to move on. Let me repeat that. Move beyond current challenges. Focus on what you desire. A desire to move on. Cloak of wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. The King of Water is super intuitive, right? He's possibly a water sign too, or got that water in his chart, that intuition. Atop the Ace of Fire, this new opportunity. Feminine guided to just go for it. Facing fear with Kali Ma. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. Right? And change your life now. This is your opportunity. Atop the Queen of Fire. Charity, prayer, and contemplation. Connect with heaven. Ask, and you shall receive. And it's like these two fiery queens. These two queens surrounded by this red. With prayer and contemplation, this is like kind of like the reflection, the need to focus on what it is you want. Let go of any fear you've had previously in going after it, and confidently just pursue it. Pursue your passions. That's what the Queen of Fire is capable of. At the feminine subconscious, atop the world, major arcana card number 21, the world. Krishna, devotion. Trust that your spiritual guidance, your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Here, you're being recognized too. A job well done. Joy, contentment, and gratitude in the path toward enlightenment. That's what the spiritual guidance is. The path toward enlightenment. Your commitment has been recognized. A job well done. So because you did elect to be a willful participant in your own life and to start to, make some moves, the universe joining in to help you, right? Your commitment's been recognized. We're going to help you by easing you out of this situation that you've been stuck in. The top pose is the King of Earth, 6 of Earth. Oh, how could I forget? One of my favorite cards. Ooh, and one of my favorite Ascended Masters, of course. Isis, represented by the number 6. So it makes a lot of sense. Mother connected to 6. Magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. Ooh, did you see that orb that just went by? We started, the opening message was about dreams. Here we have your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. Mother is balancing the scales. She's making it fair. We're due some manifestation. We're due some of this real tangible abundance in our hands. And if anybody can give it to us, she can. And that's what's happening here. At the root, atop the 3 of air, and this pain, hurt, something of which we need to let go. Oh wow. How perfect is this? Mercury, right? Like the king of air, the ace of air, however you want to look at him. The planet Mercury, the god Mercury. Open communication. Get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. What did I say this was about? The need to speak up something and to forgive and to ask for an apology or to make an apology. Get something off your chest. It may be a long time coming. Isn't that what I said? The feminine may have been waiting for this forever. And she might not even be interested anymore. But it needs to be heard to bring closure, even if they're not going to go forward together. But in some cases, they will go forward together. That's what this is about. Get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. Where's the love? It's right here. The lovers sit here. And the unconditional love sits here with the 6 of earth. And the king of water, who is also a being of unconditional love, he sits here right next to it. At the heart of the matter, atop the lovers, wow, hope, love, and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Remember, true gem, the worth. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. Sitting under the manifestation. How do you manifest? By positive thoughts, positive words that you speak over your life. You choose those loving thoughts. You have faith. You have hope. You have love. You realize that that's the only thing that's real, and that's what you'll manifest. And lastly, one from my angel therapy cards, because we need healing. Protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies by envisioning a cocoon of healing light surrounding you. And opening to emotional sensitivity. Honor and respect your deep sensitivity, as it is a gift to us all. Shield yourself. Also listen to your intuitive feelings sticking up. This could be connected to the healing sounds, right? The need to listen and pay attention and tune into any clairaudience. Your body is receiving accurate messages from the divine. Also, heal away addictions. This is anything toxic, codependent, including relationships. It's time to let go of behaviors that are blocking you from your heart's desire, right? Anything that's preventing our freedom. Ask Archangel Raphael to help you with this healing. Listen to your intuitive feelings and cut your cords. Ask Archangel Michael to clear away any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. Listen to your intuitive feelings. Cut your cords. Overall energy is indigo. The person you're inquiring about is an indigo, meaning a highly sensitive, natural-born healer. To the masculine, from the angels of the angel therapy cards. Vacuum away fear. Call upon archangels Michael and Raphael to lift fear-based energy from you, your surroundings, this situation, and everyone involved. So whatever's been preventing you from moving forward is what you're going to ask to be relieved of so that you can. Feminine. Third eye chakra. It's safe for you to see the energy of love in all its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. Oh, we have another deck. Forgot that one. All right, let's do it now. Hashtag creepy deck, long distance. So we talked about long distance early on when the travel card came up and when message from afar came up. Some people, this is literal long distance, and there will be communication coming in, whether it's a long distance phone call or somebody travels to see you. And for others, it's metaphorical and can be connected to the energy of the retrogrades. Retrogrades causing us to sort of go back and check out things from our past, whether it's our past in this life or something attached to a previous past life and some karma. For others, this has to do with our ship finally coming in. It's a 3, and 3 is about abundance and creativity and creation and co-creating and the creator and Trinity and trilogy and basically blessings. So we're, patiently waiting for our ship to come in. It could be connected to the energy of the world, right? That requires some patience sometimes, or we're eased out of a situation into a new one, but going for the long haul, this is the work we have to put in now to produce those results later. Feminine. Blonde female. So again, this is my representation of the divine feminine in this deck. It's kind of like a queen of fire, basically. So similar to the queen of fire we already have here on the feminine side, all about pursuing our passions confidently, having courage, that courage and confidence of Leo, the lion, the strength from within to do whatever we put our minds to. Okay, we're getting an extra dose of that this week too. From the angels to the masculine. The Knight of Air, intelligent, decisive, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options. You can come up with creative solutions. The Knight of Air is a Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Can be here because of Venus also. Can be here because of Mercury too. Maybe even Mars retrograde in Aquarius, speaking about the retrogrades. When the Knight of Air shows up, there's often a decision that has to be made. So we're either awaiting a decision, like some sort of judgment, or whether it's legal or metaphorical, we're awaiting a decision, or we have to make a decision. And we might have to do it quickly, not rushing to judgment, but like before the opportunity passes, you need to make the decision. And it can be connected to whether or not, again, to communicate and to reach out to this open communication and getting a weight off your chest. He might be weighing his options and trying to vacuum away this fear first. Feminine from the Angel Tarot. The 7 of Water. This is also about the need to make a decision or awaiting a decision and having options, having choices. A complex decision, the need to do research. Stop procrastinating. 7 of Water, although not a court card, also connected to the energy of Neptune for me, which is also retrograde in Pisces, which it rules. This card represents the sign of Pisces too, because it's sort of like dreamy and foggy. And our opening message, as were a couple of other messages, connected to the energy of dreaming and visions. Isis, that's crowning your dreams, visions, and goals. So that can be connected to this and making plans long term for the long haul, what are we going to do? So figuring that out. And from the love oracle to the masculine, boom, told ya. Forgiveness with Kuan Yin. So seeking forgiveness, extending forgiveness, beginning with ourselves, going back to the Miriam and the sacred vision, right? Choose to forgive in order to heal. Sitting here atop the 9 of earth, forgiveness for the masculine. Which is, of course, is also connected to the open communication and the weight that he needs to get off his chest. For the feminine, from the Universal Love Oracle, transmutation. So this takes me back to the beginning of the reading when we had that other fire energy card, the golden memories. And I said this is about resentment and regret and the inability to forgive and all these things that we have to take and transmute to love so that it can be used to our benefit. And from the Keepers of the Light Oracle to the masculine, Babaji, soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. How's that for Uranus? Right, retrograde. Your consciousness is expanding. I talked about this global thing, this more about humanity and less about oneself, like more selflessness and thinking about the larger picture. You understand the connections between all things. So like one entity, one source, many frequencies attached to it, many vibes, many energetic beings. And lastly, for the feminine, Buddha, increased awareness, deep connection, trust your inner voice. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this week's love reading. I'll be back with something for the moon, and I might post publicly some of the client readings that I have to do too. We'll see. If you enjoyed this video, if you liked this video, please actually like this video by clicking the like button, giving it a thumbs up. If you're not yet a subscriber, please do subscribe and also click on the bell so that you can get notifications when I post the new videos. Because a lot of my subscribers, they say, I didn't even know you posted anything. Something's going on with my account. And they gotta keep checking. It's silly, but it's required. I apologize. So yeah, do me a favor, click on the bell. And if you would like a private reading from me or energy healing from me, I was gonna say there's still time. There's always time. But as far as this crucial period that we've all been trying to make it for. And I'm not like the only person talking about it anymore. I've been talking about it for months, what I was feeling for August, but now others are, saying, yes, August is going to be a tremendous month of change and shift and all of these things. And I don't know if all of you know, but many of you know that on Wednesday, I made a major announcement on my page that one of my subscribers, Facebook friends, clients, had made a donation of $810 toward $90 each for 9 divine light cleanses for strangers among us and other members of the collective that she didn't even know. Simply because she and her divine masculine have had the divine light cleanse on more than one occasion and know its benefits, and she wanted to be able to help someone else to do that. So this again, this theme and idea of thinking more largely, not just about oneself, but about the other connections to us and society as a whole, humanity as a whole, the planet at large. And they went quickly. I divided them up I did 3 early in the morning when she first placed the order, then 3 later that afternoon, and then 3 that night, sort of like a 3-6-9 sort of thing. And they went really, really quickly. Each party only had to pay $21 toward their own divine light cleanse. So, of course, those are all gone. It was only on Wednesday. It was just really a tremendous blessing to us all. But you can still get divine light cleanse or any of the other healing that I offer It's just that it's at its regular price this week. But if you need it, nurture yourself. That's what the universe says. And if you listen to the guidance that it's giving you, trust the voice that comes through, you can bet you'll, be reimbursed. And typically more times over than what you put in. That's how manifestation works. Again, I hope that you guys have enjoyed the reading. I'll be back. Namaste.